What's up, guys? Thanks for coming back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm playing in a YouTube Golf quarter minor qualifier. Obviously, this is a qualifier for a semi-minor qualifier, and eventually you end up in a YouTube minor if you play enough of these. And the winner there gets to be background extra in a motorcycle crash in a good video. So a lot at stake here today. You can see we got some big names in the field. We got the T-High guy. We got LJ3 all the way from Kansas City. And I start out this first hole by going almost into the trees right on a hole where you can miss 100 yards left. Fortunately, I was able to hit the green there with the wedge. The wind was pushing it too. I mean, it's unbelievable how far right that tee shot went. Left that first putt a little short, but fortunately I was able to knock it in. We're going to have to go low today. Some great players in the field. Fitzpatrick Reed, obviously, misses long game. Now this hole, you can't really tell from the tee from the depth perception, but you want to hit it over that little round tree there on the right. But it's tough because if you go right at the cart path, there's a hazard. So I ended up pulling this one left into the trees. It's pretty much just a straight ball. But I got to chip out here. And then the mistake I make here is I play too much for a slide on my iron shots, and I got to stop doing it. I got to start playing dead straight iron shots and just trusting that whether I miss a little left or a little right, it's just going to sort itself out in the end, because there's nothing worse than playing for a fade and it just goes straight. Anyway, kind of a tough bunker shot here, but I have a good lie. The sand is dry and there's a good amount under the ball, and you'll see it just blow away like smoke on a September morning in downtown Manhattan. Now this putt here, I've had it before, so I know this falls a little left. That's exactly what's going to happen here. This putt would be easy to think it was straight, but if you watch the channel, I've actually had this putt before. Boom, knocked it in. Never won a bogey, par 5. And then this tee box, this is a squirrely shot, but this tee box is very unlevel, so it's kind of hard to get a good shot on it. I'll leave it about 60 feet short here on the screen. And I'm going to leave this one short too, but I saw it was falling to the left. And then when that's the case, you just want to trust it's going to keep doing that. So I'm just going to play this one, I think, at the right edge. And it falls right in the middle. So after 3 holes, you see Fitzpatrick Reed, Brian Gay, Ricky Ricardo off to good starts. This was a pretty good drive here. And then this shot I actually backed off. And this was a decade moment here. I was aiming, I thought, a little close to the water. So I backed off, recalculated how far I needed to aim, added 3 yards to the right, and then proceeded to pull this thing about 5 yards left. And this caught the deepest part of the green that it could have caught. If this thing had been 3 yards left, it would have been probably in the water. So shout out to Scotty Fawcett. And then these long putts, we're never trying to ram them in. We're just trying to lag them close. And this one just happens to fall. So that's always nice to see. That was a big putt. Then we finally get a downwind par 4 here. And I'm just going to try to pound it over that bunker out there. And I just pounded this thing like a female high school teacher pounding her male students. I mean, this thing was hit good. And then this is a 70-yard shot. I don't use this shot a whole lot, but it was downwind on a dry fairway, so I actually just land this short of the green and just plan to let it bounce up with no spin. That's not a shot I would recommend you use if the fairways were like dewy in the morning, or if there was not a lot of wind and the fairways were kind of wet. It might not work. But I don't know if you can see that, but this thing landed short and bounced on because this green's pretty firm. I didn't want to land it at the hole because it wouldn't stop in time. And then I swear, these 5-footers for birdie are the hardest putts for me to commit to. Like 5-footers for par, I feel more calm. It's almost like I put too much pressure on myself on these birdie putts, but fortunately that one drops. Got another shortish par 4 here, downwind again. And I could lay back, but I like driver because it gets past some trees out there. That is a hazard on the right, though. And this one, I just left the face a little open. Push it. It did bounce into the hazard, so I'm going to have to take a drop up here. And then this lie I drop it into just looks like the biggest flyer lie I've ever seen, even though you can't see it. I had 168 to the pin. I chipped a 9-iron. This thing landed in the dead center of the green, took one bounce, and just flew right over. So, but fortunately, we're chipping back into the wind. Like Wedgley Bryan says, chipping into the wind is the best case scenario. So I'm just going to throw the club right under it, let it land on the green, and just trust it's going to stop. And that's exactly what happens. So I got that for bogey to be 1 under par. So you can see here the scores are pretty good in these. Fitzpatrick Reed, very good players, kind of running away with the thing. Brian Gay, Ricky Ricardo are kind of on his heels. But I mean, really, this thing is Fitzpatrick's to lose. And then if you watch the channel, this hole's given me fits basically all summer. I don't know if I parred at one time. And that was about the worst swing that you'll ever see. I blew this thing so far right, I needed a rangefinder for my second shot on a par 3. I think it hit the cart path and went down the hill. But fortunately, I had a shot. And when I hit this, you're going to see, I thought I bladed it. I caught it about a groove low, and fortunately, it ended up all right. And then this putt had probably 6 inches of break. It was uphill and falling to the left. And for whatever reason, I find this green hard to read. So I just pick a spot and I try to get the speed right. That's all I can do. And this thing just had the perfect speed. I don't know how that fell in, because it didn't even look like it was turning left. That just caught the very edge of the hole. So we stay 1 under. That's huge because we got to stay on the red numbers for sure if we're going to win this thing. I like to throw in one face on every round, just so I can see and you guys can see also if anybody likes to pick apart swings on the internet. You guys got any tips for me in the comments, go ahead and leave them. I blew this one out to the right. I think my ball position was a little too far forward there. That's something I got to work on. It's kind of a comfort thing. You feel like putting the ball further in your stance with the driver is going to make it better, but it really doesn't. I got to get more comfortable playing the ball a little bit more towards the center of my stance. This was a very awkward lie, and the ball got caught up in that tree. Now, this pin is kind of an awkward pin because the green breaks from the front left to the back right, which is very odd. When I hit this, I thought I hit it great. I thought I was going to bounce right. You can see it bounced left. Left me about 10 feet here. And then this thing was sliding. You can even see on the video here, the screen's got a lot of break in this area. And this just dove right. I thought I hit a good putt there. So we're back to even par. We do have a par 5 coming up. Can finish in the red numbers. Now, I'm not usually a big advocate of going at it extra on a par 5 tee to try to get there in 2, but this hole's pretty open and it's downwind, so there is some reward actually if I can get a little bit extra out of this. I went at this drive pretty hard, and it got a big bounce downwind on the drive fairway. Usually I can't reach this green because it's all over water, but I was able to get an iron into it today, so I'm going for it. I was actually trying to hit it into that bunker and then figured I could hole a bunker shot. And if I push it right, it'll end up on the green. But I think this ball got up in my stance a little bit again and just got pulled. Not the worst, though, because it's over the water. You can see me back in the distance there. I thought this ball was going to kick hard to the right when it landed, but I was shocked. This thing lands and just goes dead straight. Maybe if I would have landed a little further up the hill, it would have bounced right, but I didn't want to bring that bunker into play. And then those of you with keen eyes will notice I'm wearing different shoes. That's because I got back to my car and realized I hadn't filmed this shot. So I went back out and re-performed exactly what happened in regulation. And sadly, that's what happened. I left it short. So anyway, even par round, not bad, but not what it takes to win these YouTube minor qualifiers. And then here's the final leaderboard for the day. Looks like Fitzpatrick Reed, was disqualified. I'm hearing it was an incident involving his wife fluffing his balls. And that means the winner today is Ricky Ricardo. So congratulations to Ricky. Look out for him in the YouTube golf space. Brian Gay, another fictional character, had a good showing there. And thanks for watching, guys.